on the campus of Tennessee, Knoxville. Now, One Knoxville has had some success in low-scoring affairs with points in each of their last two tilts and only one goal, but can they survive the offensive hailstorm coming in from Northern Colorado? This is USL League One on ESPN Plus, presented by KUB Fiber. Hello and welcome, I'm Brad Klein, very happy to be with you. Let's take you to the table presented by PYA. We start with the visitors. Now, if you squint, you see only 4 games for Northern Colorado here. That's a league low. Perhaps they've been designing for an Open Cup run. They did get a game in the Open Cup against the USL Championship side, but they're still trying to find their groove. Meanwhile, the host team, One Knoxville, the defense has been fantastic. The offense may be slowing them down a little bit, but Sean Lewis is the common denominator for One Knox so far. In goal, he's been fantastic. Only 1 goal allowed per game. Now, Mark McKeever, the head coach, has been very happy with his development, his growth, and his steadiness also as a defender. He's looking for a little bit more facilitation to help that struggling offense. But if you like the under in any game, Sean Lewis is your man because his defense has been great. He's been anchoring the team and supporting, again, that struggling offense. He's going to have his hands full today on defense with Bruno Rendon coming into his own for Hailstorm in the Open Cup against the Rapids MLS side. He got an assist, and boy, was it a beauty. Jackson Dietrich putting a bow on it, but Bruno Rendon, the 22-year-old from Cuba, really the only player that head coach Eamon Zayed said he didn't know what to expect, but now this is a glimpse of what Rendon will do for Northern Colorado later on and maybe even tonight. The stage is set and the fans, they're piling in. One Knoxville and Northern Colorado coming up. We've got starting lineups and kickoff on the other side here on ESPN Plus. Don't go anywhere.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone. Like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline because everyone needs support.
Kickoff coming up in just a few minutes between One Knoxville and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC. Here we go into starting lineups, and we'll start with the host, One Knoxville, going in a 4-4-1-1. And this offense, it's been struggling. That's been the Achilles heel all season, presented by UT Medical Center here. Now you look at the offense, you got the 2 forwards, you got to zero in on Jake Keegan and what he's done, because historically one of the best USL League One players of all time. Now he's started in 5 consecutive matches, this one included. So Keegan is going to be integral, especially with a young Matt Vowinkle playing right next to him as a forward. Then you go to the visitors, Northern Colorado, in a 3-4-3. And Northern Colorado, again, they've only played in 4 games, so they're still trying to figure out what's what. But Arthur Rogers has been strong in his entire League One career. In fact, he's the League One Defensive Player of the Year from last season as the left back today. And again, the 8 assists last year leads the team. So he's definitely one of the best players in League One, one of the best set-piece facilitators in League One. And now we go into the injury report. Again, Northern Colorado visiting One Knoxville here. Got to take a look at who's available and who's not for both of these teams. And one thing that you might not see on the injury report is that Northern Colorado is without one of their players. Stefan Lukic suspended, 2 yellows in a matter of 10 minutes last game against Omaha. So no reported injuries for One Knox. Questionable, Irvin Parra. Now, we all know it's been well documented, and the league has been supporting Parra in his battle with testicular cancer. The good news for Parra is that he did participate in a friendly this week, so has been training with the team, had been playing in the friendly. And it's funny because we're talking to Eamon Zayed earlier this week, and he said if Parra could play, he'd be still one of the best players on the field. He is that good, that effective, and boy, do they miss him. But Northern Colorado going to have to do this one without him. One Knoxville hosting him, and we'll see what Hailstorm can do here coming off of a disappointing game against Omaha on the road, a 3-2 loss. At halftime, they were buried, down 2 goals and down a man when you factor in Lukic and his 2 yellow cards in, no joke, a matter of 7 minutes. So he's going to be a big piece to go without for Hailstorm as well. One Knoxville, meanwhile, they're coming off a very interesting game against Forward Madison. They had 1 shot on net, 10 attempts, a 0-0 draw. So we'll see what One Knox can do here on the campus of Tennessee Knoxville. At Regal Soccer Stadium, we are underway. One Knoxville 2-2-2, Northern Colorado 1-2-1. And well, they're familiar with this challenge, all road matches for Northern Colorado as their stadium is under construction. The future complex out of Windsor, Colorado. Northern Colorado led by Eamon Zayed, the 3rd season as the head coach, 39 years young. And he has been strong for what Northern Colorado is trying to do and build up their program, professional soccer, in the northern part of the state. Referee Alexander Zalazkov, with assistant referees Rebecca Luther, James Dooling, and Barbara Agnew-Briller, the 4th official. There's Lalo Delgado, 25 years old, out of Oxnard, California. 3 clean sheets to start league play this season. Delgado says that's the new standard. In fact, Delgado had a chance to set the league record for consecutive clean sheets with 4, but that was when Omaha hosted Northern Colorado, got the 2 goals in the first half, so it wasn't to be. But Delgado has that high standard, and Zayed says he's not satisfied unless he meets that. So Northern Colorado forward of the way off of that whistle. Here's Bruno Rendon. We talked about him earlier, 22-year-old Cuban. Sends it towards the 18 and stopped by James Thomas. And so now it will be Sean Lewis with the goal kick, or picking up the possession for Knoxville, I should say. Now, this is important to look at because Lewis has been a strong defender all season long, only 1 goal allowed per game. But Mark McKeever is focused on the unit, and the offense has been struggling. There's no secret about that, and he's not shy about it. But he's not only looking at the forwards to fix it, he's looking at Lewis to help facilitate. He's looking at the center backs to help score. And Cornwall called for a whistle. 28-year-old captain for Hailstorm. So Derek Waldeck will have a chance here, right next to James Thomas. Here's Thomas. Sends it to the 18, headed up. There's a chance, and it's stopped. Delgado pokes it over the crossbar. So one Knox, again, that struggling offense. The set piece is so important. They have an early chance here, but Lalo Delgado on his toes. One Knox gets a corner kick, though. It's Derek Waldeck pulling the trigger. Waldeck goes back post, and it goes just wide. Waldeck picks it back up, sends it back in to the 6. And Knoxville walks away empty-handed, trying to get Skelton involved on that back post, but Lalo Delgado in the back line for Northern Colorado standing strong. So 2 set-piece opportunities for one Knoxville. Here's the free kick. And James Thomas put really good pressure on Delgado with some help by Andresen. So McKeever and one Knox trying to get some more opportunities just like that in Northern Colorado. Again, coming off that loss against Omaha, they gave up the 2 first-half goals. See if the defense can get a stronger start against one Knox here. Here's Cornwall. Nice play on the ball. It's Fernandez taking it himself. Now sharing. Waldeck crosses it back in. Here's some more pressure, and it goes off into the corner. One Knox will have another set piece. It was Jake Keegan, USL League One second all-time leading goal scorer with 24, had a chance, and then he ran into a brick wall named Enoch Kwakwa.
One Knoxville corner kick.
So the second corner kick here in the 6th minute. Instead of Waldeck, this time it will be Thomas. United Kingdom native sends it in. Trevor Amin stops it up in the air. Here's a chance, and it's stopped again. Jimmy Villalobos with the left. Had nowhere to go through that brick wall of white jerseys. So 2 early corner kicks and 3 early set pieces for one Knox, but nothing to show for it. James Thomas gets it in. And Rendon pokes him away. Very strong for one Knox so far this year, but McKeever insists that's the way they want to play. They want to play high scoring if they can. Give the fans a show. You can see they really support their team in Knoxville, a budding soccer community. And McKeever wants, instead of the 0-0 draw, 1-0 win, 1-0 loss, he wants the 5-6 shootout. They're playing like it today. Chrysler tracks it down. Here's Thomas. Now Thomas was a full training participant this week, did not play in last week's game. And Chrysler has a man on the far touchline. Here's Keegan. And Oprah pokes it away. So now Northern Colorado has been playing on that back line, that back foot, I should say. And the one Knoxville fans looking on. Again, this is the first year of professional soccer in Knoxville, with one Knox having played in USL League Two last year. South Central Division champions reached the USL 2 conference finals. Villalobos stops it, Keegan takes it. Top of the 18, and Vowinkle had it poked away. Here's Rendon. too strong. Trying to lead on Amin. I beg your pardon, King. Now Kwakwa, a natural number 6 according to Zayed. And now Knoxville making a move. Jake Keegan gives up the keys. Here's Waldeck back to Keegan. The cross by Keegan into Thomas. One touch, it goes high. One Knox with another prime opportunity, and Thomas shaking his head. He knew he had a good chance. Now here's another look. Really nice cross. Thomas, top of the 18, and Delgado doesn't even have to move. Remember, Thomas was out of the lineup last week. Very important to what One Knox wants to do in building up this professional soccer community. So Northern Colorado hasn't had a real chance on Lewis yet. And Sean Lewis cheats up and takes that one away. Now, to be honest, going into this game, you would think it'd be the reverse script with Northern Colorado peppering Lewis and One Knoxville relying heavily on their strong goalkeeper, but instead, it's the home team showing off their chance abundance on their offense with Jake Keegan heavily involved early on. Too far for Derek Waldeck. Now we applaud your decision to join us here on ESPN Plus, even if you're at Regal Soccer Stadium. Here's Jake Keegan again. Had a really good cross earlier. Here's another one. Into Villalobos. It's just wide. Jimmy Villalobos with the left. That one's going to haunt him tonight. Have another look. Jimmy Villalobos, another great feed from Keegan. And Villalobos took it and rifled wide. So Delgado dodges a bullet. I don't know if he would have had it had Villalobos put it on mark. Remember, accuracy has been a bit of an issue for One Knoxville. Only had one shot on target in their 10 attempts in the loss, or beg your pardon, in the tie to forward Madison. Jordan Skelton trying to piece something together with Chrysler. And Kwakwa touches it back. Mentioned Kwakwa earlier. Second year of soccer in the States after playing for USL Championship side Charleston Battery. Far touch line, and Knoxville takes over. Danny Fernandez. A really nice play there. Nothing to show for it, but One Knoxville has really controlled this game early on. Every shot belonging to the home team, and flag is up. Got offside there. And so many of these opportunities for Knoxville have been birthed off of the passing from Northern Colorado, the least accurate passing team in the league at just 74%. Delgado into traffic. Norti, the London, England native, trying to get something started for Northern Colorado. Here's King. Putting the brakes on Vanderplow. Now across inside, touched off. The defense by Jordan Skelton. And a corner kick coming up. It was Arthur Rogers, again, the reigning League One Defender of the Year, trying to get something started on offense for Northern Colorado. This is what he does best. Now maybe this is what he does best. The best set-piece distributor in League One. Had 8 assists last year, led the team. Has 1 so far this year. Sends it in. Here's a chance, and Lewis snags. Sean Lewis climbs the ladder and retains the 0-0 tie. Now Rogers found Cornwall. Already has a goal himself, and the captain could not eke it by Lewis. So Northern Colorado gets their first true chance. A chance is on Lewis there, but still one Knoxville dominating this game early on, 15 minutes in. Here's Bruno Rendon. Talked about him earlier on in the broadcast. The 22-year-old from Cuba defected from Cuba following the 2018 CONCACAF U20 Championship, which was hosted in Bradenton, Florida. Played under Hailstorm assistant coach Colin Falvey last season in the NISA with the Syracuse Pulse. And Lewis plays it off. Nice touch by Ahmed. Here's another chance, it goes wide. So one Knoxville with a bit of a miscue there, which led to the opportunity for Norti. So Skelton has him marked up, and then Norti just turns around and rips one to the right. So another corner kick coming up for Hailstorm. Once again, it will be Arthur Rogers. Rogers going for Amin into a triple team, and Waldeck takes it out of the box. So Derek Waldeck, the Stanford product, with some nice defense there, and Amin definitely looked like the intended target for Arthur Rogers there. Another chance for Hailstorm if they can get more pressure on Sean Lewis. That's really been the name of the game. Control possession, and both teams want the ball. And that throw goes right into the breadbasket of Lewis. So the 31-year-old, Mark McKeever says, has the ability to take the USL League One by storm. Standing strong against the Northern Colorado pressure there. Jalen Chrysler now. USL League One, or all League One team last season. Norti with some contact going for Amin, and a foul is called. They got Jordan Skelton. Some hand fighting going on that pop pass by Norti, and Amin got hooked. Rendon had an assist in the Open Cup against the MLS side, Colorado Rapids, a 3-1 loss, but that gave Northern Colorado some confidence, saying they can compete against anyone. Right now, they're competing against a, let's call it what it is, different One Knox offense. Angelo Kelly tries to keep it in. He does. The cross a little errant, not enough for Thomas to do anything with it. So Kelly just a little bit behind the ball, and now Waldeck trying to keep this alive. Got a foul called at the center circle. It was Norty on the hook. But Jake Keegan fell down to the ground, and One Knox will have another free kick here. Here's another look, the altercation by the center circle. Now Keegan is kind of blindsided there. What can One Knox do? And a free kick 3 minutes into the game. And one here in the center circle. They go to the left of the 18. Skelton can't do anything with it. Select the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.us.select-sport for the. Nice play by Thomas. Northern Colorado might have had something cooking there. And now Delgado scoops it up. Now James Thomas has been heavily involved early on for One Knox. Thomas played under Mark McKeever back in his college days with the Mountain Lions of Young Harris. Vowinkle catches up to it and generates a corner kick.
One Knoxville corner kick.
How about that play by Vowinkle? And I think Evans took it off the cranium. So another set-piece chance for One Knox. Mark McKeever says that's how you get a stalling offense into fifth gear. Derek Waldeck will take the corner. Waldeck has 1 assist this season. Waldeck goes back post, and Arthur Rogers on the defensive. Well, he just vacuums that ball. Got a foul against Rogers there. High boot. Okay, so Rogers doesn't like the call, but that gives One Knox another opportunity here. Be a free kick about 28 yards away. Here's another look. Now Rogers colliding in with Vanderplam. That's a dangerous play. Vanderplam wanted to play it with his head, and Rogers nearly kicked him in the face. And that's the consequence. But it's not on Rogers. Enoch Kwakwa. So Kwakwa was a bit of a traffic cone when referee was trying to sort everything out, and Zalazkov now trying to get Sabella back in order. So Enoch Kwakwa called for his third yellow card of the year. Now remember, Northern Colorado had 2 yellow cards issued to Stefan Lukic last week against Omaha, so he's not available today. Kwakwa is so important to what Northern Colorado does in the midfield. True 6. Waldeck and Thomas. Thomas will put it in. Back post, it's up for grabs. Top of the 18, it goes wide. Jimmy Villalobos again misses wide left. It's the second time he's done that today. Said the first one might have haunted Villalobos. This one pinballed right to him. I think he just lost sight of where that left post was. But the One Knox fans still waiting for something tangible to cheer for. But again, it can't be overstated how much improved this offense looks. Chrysler and Amon pushing each other, no call. And Cornwall loses the ball. Pressure by Jake Keegan. Now James Thomas will throw it in. Thomas tries to cross. Rendon says no. And Rendon keeps possession with the ball ricocheting off of the right shin guard of Thomas. Now they play it back for Jordan Skelton, co-captain the 2021 USL 2 champions, Des Moines Menace, alongside James Thomas. Head coach Mark McKeever at the helm of that one as well. Dietrich plays to Rogers. Rogers, nifty move on Villalobos off balance. Here's the cross to the back and no one home. Thomas lets it go.
Ladies and gentlemen, One Knoxville is partnering with 2 Bikes.
Eamon Zayed, again, his 3rd season, the 39-year-old, hired as Northern Colorado's first manager in 2021. And Zayed has racked up those frequent flyer miles alongside his entire roster. Remember, they're still waiting for their home stadium to finish construction. That means that they have to play as the road team for the first 6 matches of the year. You saw what One Knoxville's had to do. This is nothing for One Knox. In fact, it's normal to be playing at home. They only have 2 road games on their ledger so far. So I was talking to Eamon Zayed earlier this week, and I just asked him, how has the road and the travel affected your team? And he said, you know what, early on, the adrenaline is high. And here's another chance. Rendon thwarted away. It was Jordan Skelton. No. Now Rendon, we saw him as a passer in the Open Cup. And Jordan Dikembe Skelton pokes it away. But as I was saying with Eamon Zayed, as you get another look here, really nice tackle off the back, and Rendon didn't even see him coming. Talking to Zayed, he said, you know, early on in the season, the adrenaline is high, and it doesn't matter if you're playing on the road, if you have to fly across the country. But 5 games into the season, it matters. Home opener for Northern Colorado on May 27th. About 2 weeks, but who's counting? Northern Colorado is. Waldeck shoved down and a foul. The Stanford product plays it up. Rendon had a chance a moment ago on that back tackle by Jordan Skelton. Would have been a one-on-one, or one-on-none really, with him and Sean Lewis left on an island, but Skelton made potentially a goal-saving tackle, and now Rendon back on the defensive with Northern Colorado trying to figure this offense out, because it's supposed to be the team's strength. And so far, most of the opportunities belong to One Knox. Breck Evans on the throw-in. Here's Rogers, lets it go, and another stop. Sean Lewis diving right, never got to him. Rogers reloads. Amin. Too strong in a corner kick, actually. So Arthur Rogers, maybe the best offensive defender in League One, swoops in, goes with the right, and it was Skelton again. So Rogers, no surprise, will line up the corner kick again. Last time he was aiming for Amin. Second corner kick of the day. They go up for Amin again, and Sean Lewis is there for the save. Lewis, one of the best keepers in League One. Mark McKeever saying that he's going to take the league by storm, and he was cool, calm, and collected on the corner with one of the best set-piece takers in the league to his left. Here in the 31st minute, one Knoxville and Northern Colorado, no score, but plenty of action to speak of here on the campus of Tennessee Knoxville. Regal Soccer Stadium, 3,000 seats available. James Thomas now. Nice touch ahead. Vowinkle was shoved from behind, but no call. It was Bruno Rendon. He knew he made a nice stop on the young forward. So Vowinkle, the 24-year-old out of Long Island, marked up by Rendon, and now another hard foul. And Amin down on the ground. That's the consequence. There's a yellow. It was Jordan Skelton, his third yellow card of the year. And the second that we've seen issued today. Enoch Quadron, the Northern Colorado midfielder, got the first. Again, Skelton has had a very busy 32 minutes at the office. Had the back tackle on Rendon to potentially save a goal. Skelton takes it back and feeds Lewis. Remember, distribution is the next step in Lewis's game, according to head coach Mark McKeever. Can he help this struggling offense? Then again, the offense doesn't really look like it's struggling. They've had some quality looks on Lalo Delgado, who boots it ahead for Amin. King still onside. Crosses in to the 6, and a nice stop by Chrysler. James Thomas over Vanderplow. Here's Keegan, who's been quiet after the first few minutes, had some really nice crosses to generate those looks for Knoxville. One of the two forwards for one Knox today. King was hooked, and a foul. They got Keegan. So Rogers takes the free kick. Been a pretty physical game early on. Both of these teams looking for 3 points. One Knox has been getting some points, treading water, waiting to get fully healthy, with their defense carrying the load. Here's Keegan again. Waldeck plays to Thomas. The young Harris product finds Villalobos, and Rendon gobbles him up. So Jimmy Villalobos, the Bakersfield, California native, stopped there. Now Knoxville has welcomed professional soccer with a smile. And the chairman president, Drew McKenna, wanted to bring pro soccer to Knoxville after the U.S. men's national team lost, or rather did not qualify for the 2018 World Cup. He said, no way that's happening on my watch again. So he just thinks if you get more hubs, if you get more interest, that will change. Kelly with some pressure, and Dietrich gets out of it. It's really interesting, the McKenna story and how and why he wanted to bring pro soccer here. He says that the model has been set by the Philadelphias and the Dallases of the world. Nifty move there, Waldeck cross, and a stop by Cornwall. And the captain lets it go. Lalo Delgado will line up a goal kick. I beg your pardon, it's a corner kick. Cornwall had the box out. I think he really thought that One Knox was last to touch it. Maybe a miscalculation by the captain. So James Thomas has a chance now. Another corner for One Knox. Waldeck and Thomas sharing into the box. It goes wide. No one able to get ahead on it on Delgado inside the 6. They were going for Danny Fernandez there. And the Spaniard was in some traffic. So McKeever looking on again. You would think that he's somewhat content with the offense and the abundance of chances. But he said that youth up front is going to limit and hinder the progress for One Knox offensively. Got a guy like Matt Vowinkle putting so much onus on him to score. And granted, you have Jake Keegan, who is a veteran as one of your 2 forwards, but even still, he credits the youth working out some of those kinks to the slow offensive start. 6 games in, and this being the 7th. And because of that youth, McKeever says that the approach to every game is the same. It's simple. One Knox treats every game as if it's a cup final. I have to get ready if you stay ready. I asked him, hey, what would a win mean to your team? He said, yeah, it would feel like a cup final. You'd see them doing somersaults and cartwheels. I said, that's fine, but I want to see a somersault out of you, coach. Here's Thomas, beautiful tackle by Dietrich, and Delgado plays it up and out. Dietrich wanted a foul.
Another One Knoxville corner kick.
So clean tackle by Dietrich, but a corner kick for One Knoxville, and Derek Waldeck will pull the trigger once again. And McKeever says he's versatile, can play inside and outside with a desire to drive forward, provide deliveries into dangerous areas. That's the job description here. In the 38th minute, Waldeck goes front post, and it sails outside the back post. I think Vowinkle thought it's a corner. It is another corner kick.
Another one.
So the corner kicks have been plentiful for One Knox today. James Thomas will take this one from the right side. Six corner kicks already for the hosts. Thomas up front and stopped. Villalobos and Waldeck trying to keep the pressure on Northern Colorado, but a really nice defensive stand by Hailstorm. Another foul, this one against Keegan. Mentioned we're here on the campus of Tennessee Knoxville, but soon that's going to change. New stadium coming up to accommodate this strong fan base in Knoxville. And One Knox will be sharing it, the Tennessee Smokies, the AA Cubs as well. $80 million in public funding, 7,000 seats coming up in 2024, 2025. And that just builds on the vision for Drew McKenna, bringing pro soccer to Knoxville after just 1 year of semi-pro in the USL 2 for this club. And the youth academies, both on the boys and the girls sides too, they're coming into their own. Sabella the cross. Billy King has a lane. He'll cross it himself, and a really nice stop. A corner kick coming up though. So Billy King generating this chance. Arthur Rogers will take it as we near halftime. Hailstorm led League One last year in set-piece goals. Here's Arthur Rogers. Back post, Lewis pokes it out of play, out of contention, and out of play into the corner. So another corner kick coming up for Northern Colorado. I think they were going for Amin on that back post. Rogers will take it. And Valentin Sabella lining it up, but again, Arthur Rogers, this is what he does. It will be Sabella. Over to Rogers here, the League One Defender of the Year last year. Goes to Billy King, sends it in, and Sean Lewis in traffic. Lewis plays it up, and now it's poked out of contention again. So One Knoxville cannot field and defend and end this corner kick flurry for Northern Colorado cleanly. It was Gabriel Claudio. He wants a handball. Should he have gotten it? Cornwall off his head. Didn't see it. Jake Keegan saying no hands. Corner kick for Rogers once again. Back post. Back in. And out of play, Amin hit the signage. So Sean Lewis stands tall, the defense taking care of business in front of him. And maybe, if Jake Keegan did touch it with his hand, One Knoxville getting away with one. And a big break for the home team. Northern Colorado this week in training, up the intensity, trying to keep that game speed up because they really haven't played all that much. This is only their 5th game of the year. Spacing out their schedule, had a friendly earlier this week as well. I'll remind you to stay tuned at the halftime show presented by KUB Fiber. Here's a note, scoreboard, and of course the highlights. A lot of great chances for both sides. Mentioned the schedule for Northern Colorado. They really haven't played all that much in League One. Training has been high intensity to keep the game speed up. They did, however, have some success in the Open Cup with a win over the Switchbacks from the USL Championship. And they did compete with the Rapids, dug themselves an early hole, but got a goal from Jackson Dietrich, and that gives Zayed's squad some confidence against any team that they face. Villalobos has had 2 chances go wide left. Here's Thomas, cross inside, and Delgado snares. Lalo Delgado timed it perfectly. He tracked it all the way from Thomas's right boot into his grasp. So Delgado has had a really strong game so far. What's funny is he's been a very strong keeper for Northern Colorado. He does not, however, have that position locked up. Johan Penronda is breathing down his neck, according to Ayman Zayed, but that's been actually helping Delgado, young 25-year-old, keep the position. Here's one Knox. Vanderplam has been quiet. 24-year-old from the Netherlands. Spent last year with the Colorado Switchbacks in the USL Championship. Only played 3 games though, and it was a bit of a false start to his professional career after playing collegiately for McKeever at Young Harris. But McKeever says this is going to be a really strong opportunity for Vanderplam to get his professional trajectory back on track. They've got 2 minutes bonus time here in the first half. Contact, no call. Before that, throw in by Rogers. And Chrysler into the opportunity. Billy King taking the throw in. When King signed with Northern Colorado, I beg your pardon, it'd be a free kick way back there by midfield for Arthur Rogers. But as I was saying, when King signed with Northern Colorado, Zayed said that he finally got his man. 28-year-old has been huge on the front line for Northern Colorado this year. Rogers sends it in. High arcing kick to Evans. He heads it up into the 18 and out. One Knoxville's defense still strong. Angelo Kelly, the 30-year-old out of Honduras, was there to end it temporarily. Halftime coming up. This could be Northern Colorado's final chance. Evans on the throw-in. Sends it to the 6. And out. Rogers goes back in and over the crossbar. Lewis ends up in the twine. So Sean Lewis unscathed in the first half. He's been fantastic, as has Lalo Delgado. That'll do it for the first half. One Knoxville and Northern Colorado. A scoreless stalemate. You can thank Sean Lewis for that, because the defense, as it has been all season long, it's been strong in the first half, because Sean Lewis has been peppered by Northern Colorado. Northern Colorado has seen that same peppering from the One Knoxville offense. The fans, worth the price of admission. One Knox and Northern Colorado doing battle in the first half. We've got the halftime report on the other side, presented by KUB Fiber.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, because everyone needs support.
Welcome back to halftime. One Knoxville and Northern Colorado do in battle, presented by KUB Fiber here. We'll take a trip around League One in a moment, but we go backwards before we go forwards. Week 8, no Saturday matchups, 4 clean sheets. Mark Schoenster has more.
This is usually the part where I say let's go back and look at last Saturday's highlights, but we're actually going back to Friday when we had 3 games, and Friday alone is when we had matches last week on the weekend in USL League One. Kind of odd, but it is what it is. Second minute, Emiliano Terzaghi, a rare missed chance. We'd also see a missed chance on this side for Union Omaha. Worth noting, though, the Richmond faithful came out in throws once again. 5,418 fans in attendance. The Red Army continues to impress, but this one would be scoreless throughout. There would be 3 corner kicks at the end of the game for Darren Sawatsky's side. One in the 86th, the 89th, and the 90th minute. All genuine chances, but due to Rashid Nuhu's acrobatics and a little bit of help from the woodwork, this game would end up 0-0, including this final chance in the 90th minute. Nathan Ani gets the header in the 86th minute. It's stopped by Nuhu, but this one, it's all frame denying Nathan Ani there. 0-0 your final score. Once again, kudos to that Richmond crowd because they came out over 5,000 people. Just incredible on that front. Meanwhile, in other places in League One, we had the League One final rematch from last season, of course. 12 starters in this game were not part of their respective rosters on these 2 teams in the championship game last season. 6 apiece for these 2 sides. But a fantastic goal here from Pedro Fonseca in the 42nd minute. Break out the scaffold, some excellent passing, great work done. And Fonseca just has to slice it home to give the reigning champs the advantage. 1-0 on the road against Chattanooga. And they would double it here with a couple of players who were with their rosters last season. Mukwele Akale shrugging off Olefi, 2 guys who were in that game last season. And then Ryan Sierakowski, longtime League One man, curling it home. Top shelf, gets the job done. He was also with Tormenta last season, and Tormenta would win the game 2-0 over the Chattanooga Red Wolves, solidifying their spot as the winners in that game last season, and also the 3rd team this year to reach double-digit in points with 12. Meanwhile, speaking of double-digit teams, North Carolina FC top of the table against bottom of the table Central Valley Fuego. A little bit of hackiness here in the 32nd minute, but like most North Carolina FC goals, it ends with Rafa Menzigan. That is goal number 6 on the season for Rafa. Far and ahead, the leader in the Golden Boot race. Twice as many as any other striker in USL League One, including that man embracing him there, Luis Perez, who got his 3rd goal right here in fantastic fashion on a free kick. 10 out of 10. No recommendations there for Luis Perez. Just keep doing that, and he'll have a ton more goals this season. North Carolina FC wins the game. Sole top of the table for them. Meanwhile, for the bottom table Central Valley Fuego, 3rd straight game with the red card, becoming a really bad pattern for this team over in Fresno. Abdul Razak Cromwell would be the one getting sent off in this one. But after all said and done, North Carolina FC wins, and Fuego has some things to answer. That's all for highlights. We'll see you on the other side from this break on ESPN+.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, because everyone needs support.
Oh, thanks, Marks. Now we'll take a look at some news and notes around USL League One. Always a busy time in League One because, boy, is this league growing. North Carolina at the top of the table. Rafa Minsigan, a big reason why, and he is rewarded with Player of the Month. Now, Forward Madison, by the way, they get an international friendly in their bag because soccer always big in Wisconsin. It's growing. And Lion McKinnon, mentioned Player of the Month for Minsigan, but McKinnon right now, he's the star of the show for Team of the Week. Player of the Week, and he earned it. 1 goal, 1 assist in his team, Greenville's last win over Charlotte. Actually, he played a role in all 3 goals for that contest. 23 years young, first Swiss goal scorer in league history. So look out for McKinnon and what he's got on the docket. Meanwhile, we've got a lot going on right now on the scoreboard around League One, and Greenville, led by McKinnon, they lead Richmond 2-0 at the half. And again, North Carolina, they are at the top of the table, but Forward Madison giving them their best chance. Got a goal, didn't get a goal against Knoxville in their last bout, a 0-0 draw. Look out for North Carolina again. North Carolina on Friday had that win against Central Valley. Let's take a look at what's happening coming up this week on Tuesday. Quick turnaround for One Knox at 7 Eastern. One Knox hosting Chattanooga Red Wolves, looking for redemption on April 8th. Chattanooga got a 2-1 win, a penalty kick goal for Ili Illich, and other than that, Red Wolves took care of the rest. So we'll see what One Knox can do in the second meeting of the year against Chattanooga. And then you go to May 17th, and we're not done there because North Carolina 8-3-2 all time against Richmond. North Carolina at the top of the table, and we'll see what they can do again against Richmond. They have had a lot of success against them, but that's not just any team. The Kickers are led by Emiliano Terzaghi, 3-time MVP. They're going to name the trophy after this guy sooner rather than later. So North Carolina having a tough test against the Kickers, their first meeting of the season. Historically very favorable, though, for North Carolina. Then one day later, it's Hailstorm at Forward Madison. The last game before the home opener for Northern Colorado. Again, Future Legends Complex. It's still under construction. These are the Road Warriors. Forward Madison going to try to defend their home field against Northern Colorado. Thursday, 8 o'clock. Madison has done very well against Hailstorm this season. Rather, in the past, the first meeting this season, Northern Colorado not even thinking about Forward Madison. They're thinking about One Knoxville, and that is where we are right now for the halftime report. There you see the upcoming schedule. And what's great about League One, you can find all of this on ESPN+, and we are very happy to bring it to you because there's always a huge list, a laundry list. Hey, flip it back and forth, all these different teams that you can watch, and all of them growing, all of them chasing North Carolina at the top of the table. Highlights and stats coming up. We're going to take another quick break here on the halftime report presented by KUB Fiber.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, because everyone needs support.
No score between One Knoxville and Northern Colorado Hailstorm FC here at the half, presented by KUB Fiber. I'm Brian Klein, very happy to be with you. And while there was no score in the first half, there were plenty of highlights for those One Knox fans in attendance at Regal Soccer Stadium. Set pieces galore for One Knox early on. James Thomas, Derek Waldeck, they were peppering Lalo Delgado, acrobatic save there, and Thomas sent it in. There was almost an own goal there with Amin nearly putting it past Delgado, but it stayed scoreless, and it stayed scoreless after this too. Villalobos, this is what nightmares are made of. He was right there, top of the 18. He had another very similar look. Here it is. With the left, it goes wide left. Jimmy Villalobos not happy with himself, but a really nice cross by Jake Keegan. We saw that multiple times in half number one as well. Delgado bailed out off the wide kick. Here's Arthur Rogers from the corner, and hey, Northern Colorado had a couple of corner kicks on Sean Lewis, but Lewis handled them very well. Corner kick here for One Knox. I mentioned earlier, wasn't lying. Villalobos again goes wide left there. Later on in the half, it was another good look for Cornwall. He thought it was a handball. Jake Keegan says no. And here, all your halftime stats. Again, One Knoxville, look at their 7 shots. Granted, none of them on target, but this is an offense which has been limping through the first 6 games of the year. 7 shots, 1 half against Northern Colorado. They'll take that because the offense looking for a spark, and they got it via set pieces in the first half, especially early on. Matt Vowinkle sitting now. And Callum Johnson, the 26-year-old Englishman, taking over. So that is the lone swap in the lineup for either side. Mentioned earlier how Vowinkle's youth is something that McKeever has dealt with, acknowledged, accepted. In the offensive struggles, Vowinkle, a young pro, and Johnson has a little bit more experience on him. Doesn't have a goal so far this season. In fact, scored a goal for LA Galaxy 2 in the USL Championship last year. But looking for an offensive spark, looking for a finisher after those 7 shots. Someone's got to get it past Delgado. They're underway here in half number 2. Breck Evans with a nice touch there. And it's Kwakwa trying to find Rendon, but Derek Waldeck will take over. I beg your pardon. It will be Danny Fernandez. So One Knoxville with a conversion rate of just 8% on their shots. Again, had the 7 in the first half. Like I said, a lot of set pieces. That's something that they have been trying to generate to help that stalling offense kick into a more formidable pace, trying to match the defense. The defense has been fantastic all year, led by Sean Lewis, and that's who you see to the right of your screen right now, lining up the goal kick. Lewis spent the last 3 years with FC Tulsa and Indy 11 in the USL Championship. Callum Johnson gets his first taste in the center circle. Johnson goes to Thomas. Now Johnson makes a move. Still onside. Here's a chance, and it's stopped by Evans. Corner kick coming up for one Knoxville.
Fans, make some noise for a one Knoxville corner kick.
Derek Waldeck will take the corner on a really nice corner kick generation there by Callum Johnson, fresh off the bench. And here's Waldeck. 25 years old, out of Santa Clarita, California, about an hour north of Los Angeles. At the start of the second half, he sends it into the 6, it goes wide. Everyone's pointing all over the place, goal kick coming up. Last touch off of one Knox. So Lalo Delgado watches that one sail wide right. Here's another look. Waldeck went right to the middle. I don't know. Looked like Rendon might have gotten a piece. Either way, Arthur Rogers now on the near touch line for Hailstorm. Definitely charted territory for both of these teams to be low scoring, if not no scoring at the break. Waldeck goes back post. Here's a chance. It goes high. Villalobos again cannot convert. Villalobos had 2 great looks that he pushed wide left in the first half. This one, too high. And a really nice cross. He just couldn't finish. Jimmy Villalobos, 27-year-old midfielder, 5'9", 170. He got up there, just couldn't finish. Northern Colorado has pace here. It's Kwakwa who had a yellow card in the first half. Rendon now, he's got a chance and he misses high. Sean Lewis left on an island and Bruno Rendon was a toe away from his first goal. That one's gonna sting. Here it is, stays onside, pass Fernandez, and Lewis could only cross his fingers and hope for the best. This is a mirror image of what we saw in the first half. Both teams with some really quality looks, but no one able to finish. Here's Kelly. They go to Fernandez. McKeever calls him Danny the Bull or El Toro. The Spaniard. He's got some fight to him. Breck Evans, after just 1 year at Cal Poly, signed with then USL League One side North Texas SC, reserve squad to FC Dallas. Now in MLS Next Pro. Led North Texas to the first ever League One title. Got a light drizzle starting to fall here at Regal Soccer Stadium. You can see at the bottom of your screen, I think some of those fans are trying to take cover. Here's Callum Johnson through the rain. Over to Thomas, sends it in. Back post, Villalobos keeps it in play, and now Derek Waldeck can't hacky sack it back into the 18. Bruno Rendon takes over. And a tie-up. We've got a whistle and a yellow card issued. I beg your pardon. That's possession. That's the yellow whistle. That's trickery. That is not fair to the broadcasters. I take exception to that. I feel like it should be maybe like a pitcher's sleeve. You can't have a white sleeve with a white baseball, but here's another look at a really quality chance for One Knox. Great effort by Villalobos to keep it in. Then Waldeck might have been thrown off guard by how strong Villalobos was and how high he got to keep that possession alive and keep that look alive. Here's Arthur Rogers on a free kick. Rogers sends it low. And a corner coming up. Rain starting to pick up here. Saw one fan with a One Knox flag, which has now been repurposed as a poncho. You got some cover. If you can retreat to the back row, well, then you're good. Well, there's a problem for the vertically challenged like myself. You're in the back row, you're just not going to see the game. Got to weather the storm. Rogers from the corner. Rogers sends it into the 18. It's loose. It's good. A goal for Northern Colorado, or is it? Yes, it is. It's Cornwall breaking the seal. 1-0 Hailstorm. One Knox wanted them offside, but the captain with his second goal of the season. As the rain picks up, Cornwall.
Goal in the 53rd.
It's a corner.
For Northern Colorado, scored by the number 9 Trevor Amon.
Trevor Amon was in on that play as well. And One Knox pleading their case. And to no avail. There's Kelly for Waldeck. Quick response for One Knox. No. Wide right in this line. Did not get in. A correction. It was Trevor Amon on the goal for Northern Colorado. His third of the season. Whoever it was, Hailstorm will take it. 1-0. The goal in the 54th minute. Trevor Amon had his first 2 goals in one game. In fact, he's the only player on the team with multiple goals. One Knox looking for a quick response. And Kelly smothered by King. Johnson far touchline. Second half sub for One Knox. Now the question is, what changes for the home team? They've had their looks. They have not finished. And now down 1-0. Will McKeever keep it the same? Here's a look. Waldeck was hacked. Back tackle, it was Rendon. Waldeck wants a whistle. He's not getting it. But a corner kick coming up.
Fans, get on your feet for the One Knoxville corner kick.
Bruno Rendon swoops out of nowhere to stop Derek Waldeck. That was a dangerous play with both of them in the air. And here's a corner. Vanderploum will take it. Vanderploum goes to the middle, and it's punched up in the air and out. Billy King ends that chance. Intercepted by Amon. Northern Colorado has some pace going. It's Sabella. A tackle there for Thomas. Rogers, tic-tac-toe with Sabella. Here's Amon. He's got a lane. Amon crosses left. Here's a chance. Billy King scores. Northern Colorado swells the lead to 2 in the 58th minute. It's the first goal of the season for King. His first goal since December of 2018. The Scottish Championship Series has not scored until now in the States, and it was Amon facilitating. So Trevor Amon has a goal and an assist. And Billy King making it 2-0. This one Knox fan base, they're stunned. Knoxville had all the momentum. In the first half, had a lot of really quality chances. The set pieces, none of them fell. It was only a matter of time before Northern Colorado's offense took over. Early on in the second half, Trevor Amon off a corner gets a goal, breaks the seal. And then a nice lane. He probably could have scored the second himself and dishes it for Billy King. In the 58th minute.
Bike raffle brought to you by 2 Bikes is Hillary Rivera. Congrats, Hillary Rivera. Please head over to the 2 Bikes tent to pick up your swag.
So now all eyes on Lalo Delgado here. You've been given a 2-goal lead to protect. And now Northern Colorado with a chance for 3 points on the road. And again, that's not necessarily anything new for Hailstorm, a team who's not played a single home game this season. Home opener coming up on the 27th, but 3 points on the road for any team in this league, well, they're crucial. Center circle whistle. Norte hit the deck. It was Villalobos the culprit. Rogers has been heavily involved all day, no surprise. Nice takeaway by Waldeck, but he gives it right back to Kwakwa. Here's Breck Evans, left after 1 year at Cal Poly to go play in League One for North Texas. Ended up winning the first ever League One title back in 2019. Billy King offside there. But Evans ended up getting his undergraduate degree online in business administration from Southern New Hampshire while playing professional soccer, and now he's working on a master's in finance from Bellevue University. King to Norte. Norteep with pressure, but he misses just wide right. And Sean Lewis knew it. Northern Colorado making some swaps. Benamna. Donald Benamna will have to wait his turn. Lucky Opera is in for Jackson Dietrich. Here's Waldeck. Crosses with the left. Offside. One Knox desperate. Down 2-0 in what feels like the blink of an eye to start the second half. Trevor Amon gets a goal off a corner, then an assist. With Billy King netting his first goal professionally since 2018. There's Opera and Benamna. Benamna in, trialist, the Central African Republic native. And Opera, 23-year-old out of Nigeria, coming in for Jackson Dietrich. Opera began his pro career in the Swiss Super League on loan. He played for Top Flight in Latvia and Finland. It says he always wanted to play in the States. Now he gets his chance for a budding Northern Colorado program. That is a hard foul. And we might need some attention here for Amon. He and Kelly got tied up. And Amon holding his head, might have collided with Kelly there, but can't speculate. Again, Trevor Amon with a goal and an assist to help Northern Colorado to this 2-0 advantage. And Amon walks off. Amon, a big part of the Northern Colorado program. Began his pro career with Hailstorm. And Angelo Kelly, not penalized for the incidental contact. Waldeck with the left, back post, and it goes off wide right. PK coming up. We've got a foul in the 6. Callum Johnson was calling for the contact. He got it. Breck Evans with his first card of the year. And one Knoxville will have a chance. So Evans has played a really strong game all day. Let's take another look. Callum Johnson, second half sub. He was in there, and well, Evans just swooped in. So Jake Keegan will take the PK. Keegan has 2 goals this season. Lalo Delgado stands in his way. Keegan scored a PK goal in the home opener, and he scores one here. It's 2-1. Keegan's third goal of the season, the 67th minute. Not easy to stop a PK, nearly impossible to stop a Keegan PK, and Delgado guessed correctly. So Northern Colorado scored the first 2 goals of the game, both of them early on in the second half. And Jake Keegan whittles that deficit in half, and all of a sudden, One Knoxville is in it. That goal brought to you by Markman's Jewelers. Jake Keegan's third goal of the season, the second all-time leading goal scorer in USL League One history with now 25. Northern Colorado looking for a quick response as the celebratory smoke off the cannons clear out. Really nice tackle by Norty. And now some extracurriculars, actually it's a yellow card on Norty, and the crowd not bothered by the ominous weather here. They're getting involved. So a yellow card yielded a PK for Keegan, who you can see on your screen there, to give Knoxville their goal and get them back in this game. And now another yellow card, and we'll get a free kick for Knoxville here by midfield, but more importantly, a man down. Jimmy Villalobos, the midfielder out of Bakersfield, California, took the shot for Norty off the slide, off the tackle. Slow to get up, but he does. Villalobos has had some great chances offensively. Here's the foul. Yeah, and Norty took his legs out there, came in from the side. And a free kick. James Thomas will pull the trigger. Knoxville already scored off of a set piece. Thomas lets it rip, pressuring Delgado, and Delgado is there, tries to get it cleanly, and he is pushed. A lot of contact, and Lalo Delgado is still on the ground. I think Delgado would have had it cleanly himself had he not been pushed, and he is in some serious pain, it looks like. He's not the only one. Here's another look. Delgado got tied up, and Cornwall was in that scuffle as well. So Lalo Delgado, who has been the goalie all year long for Northern Colorado, despite some pressure from the 23-year-old out of Long Island, Johan Peñaranda. And his number might be called for the first time this season if Delgado can't continue. He does get up, though. Looks okay. Cornwall, the captain, looks like he might stay in as well. So things are getting physical in the second half. Good news is both stay in. Lalo Delgado Opera lets it go. James Thomas throw in. Kelly plays it back. Villalobos breaking ankles on Evans. Far touchline. Cross inside for Villalobos. He's stopped. Jimmy Villalobos gets right back up and has another great chance, but Lalo Delgado there to stop him. Beautiful cross as well. Here's Rendon. And picked up by Danny Fernandez. Another tie-up. Rendon can't believe it. A foul on the Cuban. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN Plus, the home to the USL La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. And the USL on ESPN continues as the summer heats up. Memphis 901 FC and Aaron Malloy head to the Valley of the Sun to face Manuel Arteaga and Phoenix Rising FC. It's Phoenix Rising FC and Memphis 901 FC Saturday, July 1st at 11 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Benamna swiped by Fernandez, and he's feeling it. Vanderploum plays to Callum Johnson, I should say. Benamna is still down after that play. We'll get a look at him in a moment. Here's Kelly. Arced up by Norty. Over to Waldeck, and now Northern Colorado plays for Thomas. Sends it to the left of the box. One Knoxville has numbers with Benamna still down. Thomas inside, swim move. He hits the deck. A foul is called. One Knoxville will have another chance outside the 18. And that gives the official a chance to pay some attention to what happened on the other side of the field. But here's another look. James Thomas in traffic was tripped up. And Rendon was the culprit. Here's a free kick right outside the box. Northern Colorado scored the first 2 goals of the game, both of them in the second half, early portions of that second half. One Knox got a PK, Jake Keegan converted, and another set piece. Meanwhile, Brendan Rosas checks in exchange for Donald Benamna. James Thomas, one of the premier players on this team, doesn't have a goal this season. Thomas, way high. Can't watch the match? Turn on SiriusXM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on SiriusXM FC 157 and the SXM app. Lalo Delgado with a time-wasting yellow card. So now the keeper trying to facilitate something for Northern Colorado here, who all of a sudden are on the defensive with one Knox picking up pace. Callum Johnson nearly had a lane. Now Johnson is upended. Norty landed on him, and Rosas has a lane. Waldeck slows it down. One Knox fans were pleading for a whistle there, with Johnson ending up underneath Norty. They don't get it. Thomas plays it ahead. Is this a chance for one Knox? Delgado stops it, and a collision. Did I mention this game's getting physical? And Delgado, who was slow to get up, the last time he had some contacts, we got the same, and well, this one looks ugly. Villalobos shoulders Delgado, all the momentum going in, and no one feels good after that. Cornwall is on his feet, and you could tell he was in some pain after Villalobos shook him. Villalobos and Delgado both down. And it's not the first time that either one of these players have been down. Extremely physical second half. And now Ayman Zayed is weighing options. Talking with Billy King there. And you could see Delgado sitting up. Villalobos still on his back. Villalobos now sits up himself. And the two face each other. Such a common play. And nearly unavoidable. And you see Seba Andreasen getting ready to check in for Villalobos. Now Andreasen, 25-year-old out of Norway. Nicknamed Thor, you can tell why. Delgado looks like he's going to stay in the game. Villalobos trotting off. But Villalobos gets an ovation from the crowd for his effort. Had 4 great chances, none of them converted, but the pressure is real. And Andreasen has some big shoes to fill. So the God of Thunder is on. And Delgado weathers that hit. Again, Villalobos lowers his left shoulder into Delgado, and that's never going to feel good, but Villalobos was really picking up speed on the attack as well. Nice touch in for Keegan. Shoved from behind by Cornwall, no call. It's Kwakwa. Chrysler, nice play on Rosas. Now it's loose by the 18 and kicked out. Norty nearly squared the ball up. And the way this game has gone, especially in the second half, where we are now, Northern Colorado might be 1 goal away from walking away with this one. Norty, nice touch. Rosas missiles high. Brandon Rosas right in front of the 6. And Lewis watches it sail. Turns around and he just missed the kick. Thomas Here's the cross. Rendon and Kwakwa get it out. There's a push. Norte saying, no, I hardly touched him, but I think they beg to differ. Alexander Zalazkov on the call. There it is. Extend the arms. Push from behind. And another free kick coming up for One Knox. Now who knows what's going to happen. Plenty of stoppage time. Here's a chance, and it goes right to Delgado. I think they tried to catch Northern Colorado off guard there. And Andreasen was the intended target. Jordan Skelton catches up to that one. A box out yields a goal kick. So the question is, how will Knoxville generate a fruitful scoring opportunity? Remember, their only goal came off a goal kick. They've had plenty of chances. They haven't been able to convert them, and that's not necessarily new. Their 8% conversion rate is second worst in League One. Chrysler, nice pass. It's Thomas, generates a corner kick. Lucky Opera pinballed it out of bounds, and maybe this is the answer. Another set piece, and Derek Waldeck will take it. Waldeck going for Fernandez. It's loose, it's out. One Knoxville thinks they got another corner, but they don't. It's a goal kick. Tough break for the hosts. And we've got another man down. It was Breck Evans slow to get up.
Exiting the field for One Knoxville, James Thomas. Entering number 30, Jan-Erik Leinhos.
Kyle McDowell getting ready to check in for One Knoxville.
Also exiting, Derek Waldeck. Entering the number 3, Kyle McDowell. Entering for Northern Colorado.
So McCain Clark and Destin Norman are in for Northern Colorado. Kyle McDowell in for One Knoxville alongside Jan-Erik Leinhos. Getting some fresh legs out there for the final push. Destin Norman, Northern Colorado kid. Here's Rosas. And the pass goes behind the intended target. So Northern Colorado wastes an opportunity. Andreasen, back touch. Rendon read it. Here's McCain Clark. Nice tackle. It was Fernandez, but Rendon on the throw-in. Danny the Bull Fernandez swoops in and nearly turned it over. Here's Kwakwa. In traffic, McCain Clark keeps it in. Clark just 18 years young, the youngest player on either side. There's a hook, there's a foul. Norman is the culprit. Another free kick for One Knoxville. Vanderplow. He lines it up. Lalo Delgado can't save it cleanly. Another foul. Delgado jumping up, and he is not happy with Andreasen. Andreasen falls down. There's a yellow card. It's going to be Cornwall. Second yellow of the season for Cornwall. And this might be how one Knoxville gets back in this game and ties it up, with the extracurriculars coming back to bite Northern Colorado. Sebastian Andreasen issued a yellow card as well. Andreasen's first card of the year.
Yellow cards issued to Northern Colorado.
Those cancel out. Delgado will send it back to midfield here, and Northern Colorado dodges a bullet there. The USL is committed to caring for the mental health of our players, fans, and communities. The Need Support campaign includes a partnership with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, a free and confidential support line for anyone having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health crisis. Need support? Call or text 988. Rosas and King trying to piece something together for Northern Colorado. It's been a very physical second half, and if you need proof, at least more proof, there it is. Rosas shoved from behind. So Arthur Rogers, who thrives on set pieces, with the rain having died down, and Hailstorm trying to get 3 points on the road. Rogers can't get it back, at least not cleanly. Callum Johnson touched it out on the pass from Billy King. Another free kick. Arthur Rogers will take it. Is this the dagger? Rogers, way too far. So now one Knoxville has to pick up the pace. You can see the urgency for the home team here. Be plenty of stoppage time as the consequence or reward, depending on how you want to look at it, on the physical nature of this second half. Here's McDowell. McDowell was shoved. It'll be a free kick once again, this time coming from the near touch line. And McDowell is right there. McKeever says that what he lacks in size, he more than makes up for. And his receiving skills, his ball retention, his creativity, immense delivery. And that is the name of the game right now for Kyle McDowell, with 6 minutes of stoppage time on the horizon. McDowell sends it by the penalty spot. Callum Johnson trying to turn around his defender, Destin Norman, but out of bounds. And now a goal kick coming up for Delgado. Meanwhile, one Knoxville will get a sub in. Hinga Selemani will come in
Entering the field for one Knoxville, number
in
9,
exchange
Hinga
for
Selemani.
Yassine Vanderploum. Selemani, the 27-year-old out of Canada, most recently played in the Maltese Premier League, also played in the Canadian Premier League, has some U.S. national team experience on the, I should say, on the U17 and 18 and 20 clubs. Got to play for the U.S. despite being born in Canada. nearly a mistake for Skelton. There's a push right in front of the referee, and Zalazkov had that one put on a platter with Johnson extending his arms. On the shove, Arthur Rogers' kick. Here's the cross, and it goes wide of the near post. We're getting close to now or never time for one Knoxville. McDowell rockets the throw-in, but it does it a little too early and out of place. Nice touch, Selemani on the ball now. Here's McDowell. Beautiful takeaway for Northern Colorado. It was McCain Clark. And Clark had it taken away by Kelly. Norman. The near touch line for King, and again taken away. Here's one Knoxville. Danny Fernandez helps one Knox move up to League One with the USL 2 push from last year, and a big part of what they're doing in the pro ranks this year. Ever since he checked in, Andreasen has been right in the thick of the whistles, which have been plentiful in the second half. And there's another one. Delgado will cheat up and take it himself. Northern Colorado, early in the second half, got a goal from Trevor Amon off a corner. And then Amon had a lane himself, pass it off to Billy King for goal number 2. Jake Keegan with a goal kick score, made it 2-1, and now one Knoxville is trying to equalize in stoppage time here. Andreasen again, and a tie-up. So Lalo Delgado, who has had a busy day at the office, not even so much as far as shots on target, but as far as bumps and bruises. He's been on the ground a bunch, a lot of collisions with some one Knoxville forwards, Jimmy Villalobos namely, who is now out of this game. We've got another collision at the top of your screen. Here's Rosas. Chance for Northern Colorado. It's ended. Nice stop by Waldeck. And remember, stay tuned for highlights and stats after the game here. Jam-packed second half, a lot to cover. And that'll do it. Northern Colorado comes into Knoxville. They get 3 points on the road A strong start to a very strong second half for both teams. The second win of the season for Hailstorm. 2-1 final. Ayman Zayed has to be happy with the way his offense responded. They converted in the second half. Oh, the scene was set in the first. They had plenty of opportunities on Sean Lewis in the first half. Trevor Amon breaks the seal off a corner and then dishes to Billy King right there for goal number 2, and that proved to be the game winner after Jake Keegan's penalty kick goal to get one Knoxville back within 1, but it was not enough. Billy King's first goal professionally since 2018, the game winner as Northern Colorado defeats one Knoxville 2-1. Highlights and stats on the other side here on ESPN Plus. The final, Northern Colorado 2 and 1 Knoxville 1.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way. Sometimes you feel alone, like your world is collapsing, like there's no hope. But you're not alone. Someone is there to listen, to talk, to help you up. The United Soccer League is proud to support the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline because everyone needs support.
We're back here as Northern Colorado celebrates their 2-1 hard-earned win over one Knoxville on the road. 3 points, and one Knox. They got to thank the fans for the support here at home. In the first half, there were plenty of chances. The second half is when they were converted. But again, plentiful looks for both sides, and that's good news for one Knox. We start with Bruno Rendon just airmailing one, and that one, it's going to hurt tonight. In the 53rd minute, though, let's go to the second half, and this is where Northern Colorado would thrive, the second half. And inside, it was Amon on a beautiful feed from Rogers, the reigning USL League One Player of the Year. And then just a few minutes later, it looked like it was going to be Amon again, right? But actually, no. Billy King wide open. Billy King, first goal since 2018 back in Scotland. So that meant that, well, Northern Colorado leads 2-0. But what does one Knoxville do in response after Billy King and Trevor Amon tag team? They go back to Lalo Delgado, and this is how they got that chance. Callum Johnson, bit of a tie-up with Breck Evans. So in the 67th minute, it was Jake Keegan. Oh, and he's nails from the penalty spot. A goal kick score, and Delgado guessed correctly. He still couldn't stop it. Keegan's third goal of the season, but it was not enough as one Knoxville falls to Northern Colorado. Here are your stats. And again, a struggling offense for the home team, but gosh, did they have their chances. 14 shots, only 2 of them on target. Really strong possession game for one Knox. Possession-based club, 57%. That'll do most days, but today it was Northern Colorado converting and capitalizing, especially in the second half. That'll do it for us here on ESPN Plus. We really appreciate you joining us from start to finish. One Knoxville cannot get it done against Northern Colorado. 2-1 Hailstorm win. Amon and King, they net the goal. So for Ryan Rose and his entire crew, I'm Brad Klein. 2-1 your final here on USL League One.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.